We are trying to get 90% possession in a match on Football Manager, but our supporters at the club prefer to see a direct style of play. Our next two games are friendlies against opponents of similar reputation in Arsenal and a slightly weaker opponent in Brighton and Hove Albion. The reason why I'm doing this is to try to convince my supporters to one day accept a more patient possession based style of play. Let me know in the comment section if you've ever tried to convince the board or the supporters on Football Manager to change their club culture or philosophy. I'm starting with a blank slate 4-2-3 with very few team instructions to encourage our obsession with possession. These team instructions include much shorter passing, much lower tempo, play out from the back, time wasting, that is set to sometimes, and when we're out of possession we're going to try to press more. In the game against Arsenal, I thought we went to go down early in the game, but it was ruled out due to offside. We stayed in the game for much of the first half without having any shots or attempts on target. We also had less time on the ball compared to Arsenal. So I had to make minor adjustments. I switched from a much lower tempo to a lower tempo and also switched from a much shorter passing to shorter passing. I also pushed our defensive line much higher and increased the line of engagement. This was to encourage my team to get the ball back. We can't really play possession football if we don't have the ball. I understand Arsenal are a good team, but in my view, Atletico Madrid should be slightly bigger than Arsenal. Even though in my save, Football Manager would disagree. Arsenal took that statement personally, and after a beautiful passing move, similar to what Italy did against France in the Nations League, Arsenal went on to score their first goal of the game. Ouch, that really hurt. We also had the ball in the back of the net, but it was ruled out for offside. Well, at least we're getting somewhere. By applying pressure and also playing high off the pitch, we actually do create chances. After a quiet second half and 50-50 possession shared between both teams, we suffered a 1-0 defeat in our first game of implementing possession football. But we learned a thing or two from that game, and I learned that if we are more adventurous, we're going to create more chances, but it also means that we're likely to concede goals. So for our next game against Brighton and Hove Albion, I applied those tweaks from the Arsenal game into our tactics. So I played with a slightly higher defensive line and a high press. Our Brighton game started off quite well. We have sufficient chances. We got our first attempt on goal via a long ball from Moises Caicedo into our inside forward, who is Hosselu. He got inside between two defenders and slotted home for the first goal after 10 minutes. Imagine my disappointment that the goal didn't come after a string of 45 passes before unlocking the opposition's defense. Someday we'll get our possession football going. We did go on to create more chances, but we had only 55% possession and an XG of 0.66 just after half an hour in the game. 3 minutes from halftime, our wingback Park Jin just played a short pass into the inside forward Hosselu, who lofted the ball over to the other side for the other inside forward in Fresnel Landu, who completely mistimed his jump, allowing the defender to clear the ball towards the flank. Luckily for us, Sasha Boy was nearby to pick the ball up and recycle possession, and we find Caicedo with the ball again, who plays another through ball to Landu, who plays another through ball to Hosselu to smash home for the second goal of the game. Hosselu's performance encouraged me to offer him a contract at halftime, but it turns out he still has 3 years left on his contract, so that will be fine. Brighton did get a goal back in the second half, but we held on to win 2-1. So far so good, we're miles off getting 90% possession, and I don't know if that's actually possible in Football Manager, but let me know what you think about our performance in the last two games. Do you think it's possible to actually convince my board that we can transition from direct football to possession-based football? Is it possible to actually have 90% possession on Football Manager? I still feel it's a long way to go, but let me know what you think.